Hi again, everybody. This is the Bricks and Bleachers podcast. All things Chicago Cubs in under 10 minutes. Cubs are grinding through a tough road trip. We'll recap some of that. There's been plenty of talk this year about the Cubs offense, but let's not overlook the defense. And I've got some possible lineup changes for Craig Counsell, plus news and notes from around Major League Baseball. Cubs enter play on Tuesday atop the National League Central, a 4-game division lead over the Cardinals, 40-26, the record for the Cubs. The Tigers, Mets, and Dodgers are the only teams in baseball with 40 or more wins. Cubs coming off a 4-3 loss last night in Philadelphia. First time in a month that the Cubs have dropped back-to-back games. The series opener was exciting. Cubs scoring early, scoring in the first against Zack Wheeler. Phillies scored in the fourth and again in the fifth. Cubs tied it in the eighth. Took the lead again in the 11th, but Daniel Palencia could not hold off the Phillies as they put up 2 in the bottom of the 11th to win 4-3. Phillies with 16 hits last night. Cubs managed only 5. Typically, when the hit differential is that wide, you're going to end up losing, and that was the case last night. Last night's game, pretty similar to a couple others we've seen on this road trip. Cubs not taking advantage of opportunities, especially early, then stymied by a really good pitcher. We saw it against Mackenzie Gore last week in Washington, and Tarik Skubal in Detroit, and then Zack Wheeler last night in Philadelphia. Cubs offense this year has been really fun to watch. Cubs have led the majors in runs much of the year. Dodgers have now overtaken them. Plenty of power, plenty of speed from the Cubs, but let's not overlook the defense because they continue to make so many exciting plays. So many defensive highlights from all across the field, and it seems like every game we see multiple instances of Cubs outfielders mowing down runners, trying to stretch a single into a double. In all facets of the game, Pete Crow Armstrong quickly cementing himself as the top center fielder in the majors. StatCast lists 2 Cubs players in the top 8 in terms of outs above average. PCA at number 4 and Nico Horner at number 8. PCA also the only major leaguer with 10 runs prevented. Fangraphs and StatCast both have the Cubs as a top 8 team defense. I feel like defense doesn't get the attention it should, so that's why I'm mentioning it here. Time for This and That, our segment on news and notes from around Major League Baseball. Paul Skeens with an ERA below 2.1, and he's got more than 80 strikeouts through his first 13 starts of the year. That's pretty impressive. The 90th time a pitcher has put up those numbers, according to OptaStats. But Skeens is only the first with those stats to also have a losing record. He's currently 4-6. A career milestone over the weekend for former Cub Kyle Hendricks. He got the win Friday night with the Los Angeles Angels. It's his 100th win of his career. Saw an interesting stat Sunday night. Yankees this season have yet to record a win after trailing by 3 or more runs. Only 3 teams this year can say that. The Yankees, Brewers, and Rangers. Cubs and Yankees play in a few weeks. So the key is to get a lead early, a lead of at least 3. Roller coaster continues for Craig Counsell. It's been a tough couple of years, and this year has been an interesting one. He's been working his way through the minors in the Braves organization at AA, then AAA. Got called up Friday night. He got to play Friday night, and then he was designated for assignment the following day. Braves have been burning through relievers. They needed someone essentially just for that one game. He got the call, and then he was designated for assignment. He's elected free agency. No word if he'll have any takers, but I would love to see him pitching again. All right, let's get back to the Cubs. We've seen Craig Counsell mix up the lineup a bit, and I'm hoping there's more of that to come. The top 3 are set with Happ, Tucker, and Suzuki, but after that, it's been pretty much a revolving door. Playing matchups, Michael Busch usually never starts against left-handers, and avoidance of back-to-back lefties in the Cubs order, so you never see PCA and Michael Busch back-to-back. And I think there are a couple of guys who probably shouldn't be batting as high as they are. Carson Kelly and Dansby Swanson. Let's keep those guys towards the bottom of the order. No doubt the spring of Carson Kelly was fun to watch, but that was pretty much over in early May. Batting below 200 over the last month. His OPS only around 500 during that time. Dansby Swanson has struggled as well. I know he's got 11 or 12 home runs on the year. Those really came in like 2 groups of hot stretches for him, but overall he's really struggled this year. Currently on pace for close to 185 strikeouts. Numbers probably, if they maintain as they are, probably be Dansby Swanson's worst offensive season of his career. Last night, those two guys up in key times came away with nothing, a combined 0 for 8. I think PCA is a great cleanup hitter, so let's keep him at number 4. And I think Michael Busch right behind him at number 5. Nico Horner, and then after that, let's have that combo of Swanson, Matt Shaw, and whoever's catching, either Carson Kelly or Reese McGuire. Eventually, we'll see Miguel Amaya come back. Believe PCA and Swanson have played every day so far this year. And I want to say PCA has actually played every defensive out. So Craig Counsell has been looking at ways to get them a rest day. He's commented that would happen on this road trip, which ends on Wednesday. But so far, we haven't seen it happen. So if you see PCA or Swanson out of the lineup today or tomorrow, that could be the reason. Cubs still have 6 games before a scheduled off day. Cubs and Phillies this evening. Second of a 3-game set in Philadelphia. It's been a few years since the Cubs have carried the better record between these teams, but that is the case for now. Cubs are 40-26. Phillies are 38-28. Colin Ray and Mick Abel, the starters tonight for Abel. It's his 3rd appearance for the Phillies. And Colin Ray has had a couple rocky starts for the Cubs recently. They deployed an opener ahead of him last time, and it seemed to work. So Ray gets the start tonight. Ben Brown tomorrow. He's also benefited recently from working behind an opener, but he was pretty close to matching Tarik Skubal in Detroit Friday night. Brown versus Jesus Luzardo tomorrow afternoon. Luzardo has had probably the worst back-to-back starts one can have. 20 runs given up over 5 2/3 innings. Brewers hit him for 12 runs, and then the Blue Jays tagged him for 8. Cubs will try to run his tough streak to 3. Cubs return home for a 4-game set this weekend with the Pittsburgh Pirates beginning on Thursday. Cubs won 2 of 3 in D.C. They dropped 2 of 3 in Detroit. They lost last night in Philadelphia, so they're going to need to win tonight and tomorrow afternoon to finish this road trip with a winning record. Follow us and comment anytime, Bricks and Bleachers on X. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. All things Chicago Cubs in under 10 minutes. This is the Bricks and Bleachers Podcast.